Alrighty guys, we're back for Boros Impact, and this is a Foundation Standard Brew, and I'm Redcat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We got 3 Impact Tremors. It's a 2-mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. Nice. And then for just 1 more mana, Warleader's Call doing the exact same thing, but then also creatures you control get +1/+1. Nice. We're pairing all these pokes with our top end, Ojer Axonil, Deepest Might. It's a 4-mana, 4/4 legendary creature, god with trample. Also, guys, let me know if I actually pronounced it correctly this time. I might have. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Ojer Axonil's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to its power instead. Nice. So, of course, if you pair that with something like a Warleader's Call, then when Axonil hits the board, it's actually a 5/5 thanks to the boost, but then that poke to the opponent's face isn't 1, it'll be 5 instead, which gets deadly very fast, huh? But also on this card, when it dies, you return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed as Temple of Power, which is definitely noteworthy, as I don't think it's going to be unheard of to actually flip Temple of Power back into Axonil, just with this deck list in particular, but we'll see, won't we? What else do we got in here? We have other ways to poke the opponent's face, like all of our 1-drops. We have 4 Hired Claws. Whenever you attack with 1 or more lizards, deals 1 damage to target opponent. Beautiful stuff. And we have other lizards packed in too, like Viashino Pyromancer, also helping us poke the opponent's face. It's a 2-mana 2/1. When this creature enters, it deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Cool stuff. Let's continue going over the 1-drops, though. We have 4 Fanatical Firebrands. You can just tap it, sack it, deal 1 damage to any target. Nice. We have 4 Cacophony Scamps. We're not doing anything particularly fancy with Scamp. It's just in here as an additional way to get some non-combat damage to the opponent's face, especially when you have that Ojer Axonil on the board. Okay, what other creatures do we have packed in? We have a couple Resolute Reinforcements, because that'll obviously pair well with the Tremors and the Warleader's Call, right? But not too many of them, because first of all, I had to pack a lot of things in here. One of those things I needed to pack in was some cards draw. We have 3 Splitskin Dolls and 3 Demand Answers as our card draw. And I had to make that decision between card draw or extra pieces of removal. And it was a tough decision, man, but we went card draw this time around. The 3 Splitskin Dolls, it's a 2-mana 2/1. When it enters, you draw a card, then you discard a card, unless you control another creature with power 2 or less, which should be often, but it's definitely noteworthy that it might not happen as much as I'm thinking, because Warleader's Call, of course, boosting our board state, but we'll see, we'll see. We have 3 Demand Answers too. It's a 2-mana instant speed. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or discard a card, then draw 2 cards. And of course, the only artifact we have packed in is the Splitskin Doll, which I don't think it's going to be a terrible thing to go ahead and sacrifice to draw a couple cards on the Demand Answers. I suppose this could be your card draw of choice, and I was thinking of cards like Ren's Resolve for in here as well, so definitely something to consider. We have a little bit of burn packed in. It's just a 1 of Burst Lightning. Okay, when we see it, it'll be fine. When we don't see it, we'll cry ourselves to sleep. No, probably not. We'll be fine, I think. We have the Jolly Balloon Man. It's a 3-mana 1/4 with haste. It's a legendary creature. You can pay 1, tap it, create a token. That's a copy of another target creature you control, except it's a 1/1 red balloon creature in addition to its other colors and types. And it has flying and haste, and then you sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, activate only as a sorcery. So pretty much everything in here is going to be pretty darn good to copy with the Jolly Balloon Man. I think this will do the thing today, as long as we actually have another creature on the board to copy with it. Imodane's Recruiter would be a good one to copy, right? We have a 1 of these in this deck list. It's not going to be unheard of to actually just pay 5 mana for the adventure side of Recruiter as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. In the mana base, we're opting for Fastland with the Forge. We got the Vantage. We got 3 Carnival in here too. It enters tapped unless a player has 13 or less life. This could totally be your land of choice. I just think that the deck list is going to be a little bit greedy sometimes, so I wanted more dual lands packed in. Leaning Mountains, because that's what the deck list is heavily leaning towards. Some honorable mentions, guys. I thought about Helpful Hunter over the Splitskin Doll. Definitely something to consider, as there's This one just enters and you draw a card. Now, it's not an artifact, so it doesn't pair with the demand answers. At that point, maybe you would want to trade out the demand answers for different card draw, so definitely something to consider. Not having a lot of removal in here, or any removal outside of the Burst Lightning and potentially the Firebrand, right, is super duper sketchy. Sometimes it works for builds that are just trying to do a very specific thing. That's what I'm hoping for today, so no get lost this time. Feels weird, right? I thought about going the Heartfire Hero Monstrous Rage route since we have Scamp in here, but I really just wanted to do a different thing, and I didn't want to accidentally lean it too Boros Auras-ish, you know what I mean? Charming Scoundrel could have been cool, especially pairing that with like Jolly Balloon Man and stuff, and then ramping off the treasure on turn 2 to a turn 3 Ojer Axonil sounds really, really neat. Thought about Razorkin, but I think the double red is going to be too greedy for in here, and then I thought about other burn like Lightning Helix, of course, so... yeah, honorable mentions for a very good reason. Okay, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, and sometimes I fail, so either way, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I don't know, man. I'm expecting a little bit, honestly. I think it's going to be good, but I'm also concerned about everything I talked about while going over the deck list, right? We're fully leaning into what the deck is trying to do. We don't have any removal. We're just ignoring the opponents completely and just trying to do its own thing. So we'll see. Opponent goes first. I like this hand. I like this hand a lot. See some mana off the top and we're golden. I guess we don't have to see it. Oh, there we go. Forge. I have to see it off the top because we have demand answers, but still. Okay, Admirer could be an issue because Selesnya Enchantments goes very fast with their Calyx and everything. The good news here, though, is my concerns about removal don't really matter against Selesnya Enchantments because we probably wouldn't get late enough into the game to actually pay the extra ward costs anyways, right? They do go ahead and give the Admirer flying, get in for 2. Another Hired Claw is not bad at all. Tempted by the Impact Tremors setup, though, and then drop a couple creatures next turn. Yeah, we'll go ahead and set up. Just do it right now. The opponent's tapped out anyways. All right. We're starting the pokes. We'll see who can outpace who while ignoring the other person's board state. Except they have Sheltered by Ghosts and stuff in there probably, so. Okay, Honor Guard. Yep. It's gonna be hard to swing into actually, because I think they might like that trade. Okay, Splitskin Doll. That's pretty good. Not bad. I think we might actually start with that. Go down to 15. Yeah, let's see what we see. We poke the opponent's face with the Tremors. We'd love a land off the top so we can get right into the Axonil play. Not going to be a land this time, but gets us one step closer to the 4th. We'll see if they accept that trade. I guess it's not terrible. We'll still get the other Hired Claw down before combat. Of course, it does affect the combat here. Couple more pokes. Let's see it. Okay, they take the 1. They decide that their Honor Guard is worth keeping around. Well, Calyx coming down. Oh, buddy. Something I wasn't expecting from Selesnya Enchantments was them to actually go wide on the board state here. 4 creatures. I wonder if they just have 4 Admirers, 4 Scavengers, 4 Honor Guards, 4 Calyx. Calyx is one of those legendary creatures that you probably want all 4 of, not just like 3, you know? They go for Royal Treatment just right now, not an instant speed or anything. So no extra tricks from the opponent, I guess. Maybe they just swing in the air. Okay. Guys, if we see mana off the top, I think that's it. Right? We're going to be poking for... No, it's not. It's not it yet. We'd get them down to 1 if we see mana off the top. So how do we want to do that then? It is mana, but it's tapped. It's tapped, so we have to figure out a way to actually survive. They don't give trample on the ground. We have chump blockers for days. We can still start with Splitskin Doll. We'll go down to 11. Depending on what's left in their hand, they might just get around all of our chump blockers anyways. Could be another Feather of Flight, which might be why they didn't copy there. Getting Ward onto Scavenger. I guess seeing the Boros colors, they expect removal, right? So getting some Ward. My apologies, opponent. I am thinking, buddy. Right, so I think we start with the Splitskin Doll. See what we see. We do poke the opponent here for 1. Okay, so if we can... Right. I think I'm overthinking this a little bit, right? So I think we get Firebrand down and we just keep all the blockers back just in case. We got them down to 11. We have the Axonil play next turn. We have to, by some miracle, survive this turn, guys. They need to miss evasion. They need to not give trample. They need to not give flying. We need to get very lucky here. Okay, they go for the full swing. I don't see evasion. I'm on the edge of my seat. Okay. We're going to keep the Firebrand around as the extra poke too, but also we'll have a swing getting through. I guess this is fine. So I guess we'll block the biggest things. Is there anything in standard that gives like surprise trample? Can't think of anything right now, so I hope that's the case. That's 5 getting through, and they need like a couple flash enchantments to push 11 through. And if they have it at that point, then they have it, you know what I mean? But also, I guess we could have just in case they actually do have it, I guess we could have still blocked the Scavenger on the ground with the Firebrand, because we still would have had lethal with the Hired Claws and the Axonil hitting the board. It's 9. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay, guys. First of all, we should have blocked the Scavenger just in case, bro. That got scary very fast after I realized how many extra boosts they have. So down to 2. I guess I'm still on the edge of my seat, but I'm pretty sure we're okay here. Worst things being like surprise life gain from the opponent. But now that we kept the Firebrand around as an extra poke, we should be fine. At that point, too... Okay, they're going to draw on Feather of Flight, so instant speed spot removal could also be terrible for us. 4 mana open. If they pass it back, it could be like a get lost. It really could be. So we're not completely safe yet. Okay, Vantage. Let's see what happens. Okay, it lands. I'm hoping it's just a Shard Mage's Rescue. That's what I'm hoping for. Swing with the Hired Claws. 2 more pokes. All right. And there it is. Okay. Oh, buddy. Yeah, so yeah, a few things. Few things about that game. Guys, check it out. I got the deck tracker back. All right. Finally, right? Finally. Okay, view battlefield. Yeah, a few things. It really should have blocked this Scavenger. Honestly, yeah, we'd be at 5 if we blocked the Scavenger, right? And then even if they did have another Royal Treatment or a Shard Mage's Rescue for extra boost, we would have actually survived then, I believe, right? But also not blocking, keeping the Firebrand back, kind of gives us a couple extra options, I guess, too. Like if it was instant speed removal on the stack, we could have tapped the Firebrand for that extra chunky poke to the opponent's face, right? Demand Answer's just chilling in hand that game too. Okay. We got lucky that they didn't give trample to any of their creatures or get extra flyers too. Or extra flyers earlier, I should say, right? Let's keep the ball rolling. Yeah, I think we got pretty lucky in that one, honestly. But maybe not. I might be wrong. Because also we could have seen the 4th untapped a little earlier too. Instead we didn't, and we had to take an extra turn of setup. I guess it really depends. Another thing that the opponent didn't see was Sheltered by Ghosts. That extra life link on those chunky creatures would have gone a long way. Honestly, guys, I don't think we're favored against Selesnya enchantments the more I think about it. All right, a lot of good mono red creatures in hand, so I'm gonna keep it. Actually just gonna go for the swing on the Firebrand instead of establishing Scamp too. Seeing Firebrand, they might just think, oh, it's goblins. Oh, Heartfire Hero. Okay, well, we kill that. I'm not even gonna play anything else first. We're just gonna pop the hero right now. And let's set up a couple things then. Hired Claw is pretty good. And Scamp is pretty good. Could have doubled Scamp too, but again, when I was going over the list, I'm pretty sure I said we're not doing anything fancy with Scamp. It's just an extra creature to help get non-land through. If this was... non-land, what? I'll take that trade. Anyways, non-combat damage through. So if we were rocking Monstrous Rage and stuff, I probably would have just doubled down on Scamp. Okay. The opponent's tapped out. I'm just going to do this before combat. I don't plan on discarding Scamp to the Demand Answers. That's going to be one of those things where I guess it depends. And we'll see if the Demand Answers actually does something in this game. I'll take that trade, but I don't think it's a trade this time, so we're going to go no blocks. If they were tapped out, I would have blocked with the Scamp again for sure. Heartfire Hero. Yeah, for the mana, I think that would be worthwhile trading out, and we might want to do it before combat, but I don't think it affects too much in combat here. Unless we see another Hired Claw. Okay, I guess that might be worthwhile doing then. The 4th mana, trading that out might be a little sketchy too, as we need 4 mana for a lot of things in here, but we essentially traded out 2 cards that weren't doing anything for 2 cards that could potentially do something. They do take the trade into the Pyromancer. They go down to 12 here, and we have the option pop the Scamp, but of course we're going to decline that. Yeah, by trading out the 4th mana, that also means, like, Jolly Balloon Man, when you play this out, you'd like to have that 4th mana open to immediately copy something. Innkeeper's Talent boosts the Challenger. They got a great swing here, guys. All right, down to 11. We're in danger. We do find the 4th mana. It is untapped, too. We're going to establish the Axonil. We have a great swing. We could pop the Scamp, too. It's good. It's really good. I don't know if we want to pop the Scamp, though, because that would be our copy with the Jolly Balloon Man. We get them down to 2. Axonil might not survive. All right. I'm gonna take the action, submit 0. Poke the opponent's face for 4. Now, if this red, like, or a permanent the opponent controlled, we would have cleaned up the Challenger for sure, I think. Because that's, like, we're in danger. We could easily die this turn to Gruul Prowess, man. But it does read a power to an opponent, right? Go for the swing. They're at 2, man. 5 swinging through. We should take the block. But where? Wherever we block probably gets trample anyways. So I guess we'll try the challenger. Eh. Yeah, we should definitely take the block. The worst thing that could happen here is they take care of the Hired Claw this turn too. But I think they're trying to push everything to face anyways. I think they're going to ignore the Hired Claw. They go Might of the Meek. So the challenger is trading into Axonil right now. So Might of the Meek, they gave Trample to the Swift Spear. I can only imagine that means they already have something for the challenger too. We go turn inside out onto the Swift Spear as well. That's 8 getting through. They need 3 more easily here. They could get there easily. They find a shock. That's it. GG opponent. Oh, man. So what could have helped us? If we wouldn't have swung with Scamp last turn, they'd be at 7 total, right? Oh, I was going to view the battlefield. Crap. Well, I guess we could just think about it instead of looking at it, right? Yeah, they would have been at 7. We could have potentially chumped with Scamp. We still have to just anticipate, especially a chump with Scamp, that the trample was going to go there instead. But that might have meant that the Axonil had a better block somewhere else too. I don't know. That was going to be a tough one regardless, and we were just 1 turn away, so yeah. All right, double Warleader's call. Opponent goes first. I don't mind this. I'm mostly concerned about seeing our 3rd mana. But we got a draw on the Splitskin Doll. Yeah, I say we keep this. Third Warleader's call, guys. Holy cow. All right, this time I'm not going to just pop the hero because I want a clean draw on the Splitskin Doll, and hopefully that's okay. Because hero quickly gets around the Firebrand, right? Go for double strike, get us down to 16. Let's see that clean draw on the Splitskin Doll. Firebrand also doesn't hit the Manifold Mouse. We don't have our 3rd in hand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. All right, let's see. See what the opponent pulls off here. It's already their turn 3, so we are technically in danger. Okay, it wasn't their 3rd mana, which is good news. Looks like they go for the double strike again. All right. Let's go for the block and see what happens. We do successfully chump here. Okay. Okay, not bad, not bad. Need to see our 3rd for sure here. Another Heartfire hero. That might be worth popping, but I'll wait for our turn in case we see another Splitskin Doll. We do find our 3rd. That's great news. But we're in a really sticky situation. Okay. Something else on that first turn when we swung with the Firebrand, if we would have kept it open, then we could have popped their Heartfire hero on the stack of the Manifold Mouse target, right? That would have actually been really good. But also no guarantee because they also could have just kept instant speed things open instead. We didn't know it was going to be the mouse for that turn. Still though, yeah. Maybe that's what we'll try doing here. Problem being they still had a mountain open. But what we want to do is try to chump with the Firebrand. And then... So if they go... Okay. Okay, there's an issue, right? Yeah, we should just try to pop the Firebrand. Okay, nice. It wasn't anything at instant speed. We still take the 1, but now the double strike isn't coming through. We go down to 11. That's pretty lucky, right? That they didn't have anything else there. But as you guys can see, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. As the decisions that we have to make aren't great decisions. Reinforcements open. Get Scamp down for the turn. Scamp might be able to do the thing against the Manifold Mouse, especially since they missed their instant speed goodies. So let's see what they end up doing here. And Reinforcements is going to be surprise blockers. Okay, crap. They're going to pick up the Scamp, so now we're not going to be able to hit the Manifold Mouse effectively. And then Heartfire Hero is going to get an extra boost, so that's actually... We're going to be forced to chump the Heartfire Hero for sure. But we want them to swing with the Manifold Mouse too. That way we actually have a pretty good block there. Poke the opponent's face a couple times, but they got incredible life gain coming back. So they're going up to 21 here. Luckily, we still have the chumps. We're still in this, guys. Oh no, it's tapped land with the Vantage. I don't think there was going to be too much we could have done, but if it was untapped land, Jolly Balloon Man, copy Reinforcements, get a fun swing in, I think all that could have been really neat. We can still establish the Jolly Balloon Man, I guess. Or we could just have a chump here. Or maybe it won't be a chump. Let's go Warleader's Call, and maybe we can take the damage from the hero. I'll still keep the reinforcements back, though, just in case, so we have to. But maybe we can take the hero damage, and then next turn, go Jolly Balloon Man, copy reinforcements with double Warleader's Call on the board. That sounds pretty fun, actually, doesn't it? Feather of Flight. My goodness, guys. Send help. Send help with words. So we could have successfully swung with the 3, but they're at 28 anyways. Not like it mattered too much, huh? Iron Claw. All right, so we're going to do the fun thing. We don't have a blocker in the air anyways. Let's do this, man. Jolly Balloon Man. Well, I hope we're allowed doing the fun thing. I guess this could be a lightning strike. All right, poke the opponent's face. This is pretty cool, and honestly, we could have seen this in a much different order, or actually had an untapped source on turn 4 as well. Yeah, this is neat. This is very neat. I like it. Good extra damage, and then we swing for 6. And like I said, we probably could have swung for that 3 last time. But even if we did, the opponent would still be at 13, which is actually wild, huh? They gained a huge chunk of life this game. Good game, opponent. All the extra Warleader's calls really just didn't come into play, as it's really hard to actually get things onto the board when you are struggling with mana. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of a struggle. It wasn't too bad. We eventually found it. We were eventually able to play more. However, the opponents are going very fast right now. My goodness, man. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. The other day, we had the bunny video go up, and I was begging Arena to give me more aggro games. Well, here they are, huh? Yeah, we were up against so much mid-range. It was pretty rough. Opponent goes first. Right, this is great. The Carnival holds us up just a little bit, but we can't complain. We keep this. Ooh. Alright, so we'll get the Carnival down for our turn 1 then. Yeah, when you have cards like Warleader's Call and whatnot, holding your turn 1 creatures back actually just isn't terrible, because then you can dump them all out after you actually have the calls on the board, or the impacts on the board. Sultai? Alright. We'll see if Pyromancer lands. If it's a counterspell, we want to get these counterspells out of the opponent's hand before they counter our more important things like the call. This is going to be some old-fashioned generic spot removal, huh? Vantage. All right, we want to get that down now, not on turn 4, right? Like the last game. And then all that blue open. I'm scared. But I think we stick to it. Let's see it. Let's see it, opponent. Come on. No. My soul. We still have a great hand here, guys. Oh, they missed their 4th. That's terrific news. Sorry, opponent. It's great news. So we get the Vantage down for the turn. We'll try to swing with the Firebrand. We have 2 open for the reinforcements on their turn. And on their turn, if they drop a counterspell, that's great news for us, right? And it passes back and maybe we can get the Jolly Balloon Man down. Gonna be Anoint with Affliction. Okay. Okay, opponent. They do find their 4th this time round. See if reinforcements lands. It does. Firebrand is not bad. The opponent doesn't have double black on the board yet, which is good news. It's a deadly cover-up style build. So Jolly Balloon Man's what I wanted to do. We'll have 2 open, so we're playing around a, you know, those 2 mana counter spells. I don't really know what to call those. The ones that make you pay 2. A huge variety of them. All right, Jolly Balloon Man on the board. Let's try to copy the Scamp over the reinforcements. Actually, never mind. Never mind. I want to swing with Firebrand. We'll copy reinforcements so we go wide with the extra token here. How you guys feel about that? Wherever the copy is, they could drop removal, I guess. Assassin's Trophy works. I don't mind thinning the deck list here. We still got a decent swing. The removal on the Scamp would have been much better, though. So that's all something to consider, right? If we were expecting removal no matter what, we still get the Scamp down for the turn. So, I mean, that's not bad. And I'm not playing around a board wipe because I don't think they're going to have it. They find a Demolition Field. Yeah, they don't have double black on the board. Could you guys imagine if the Warleader's Call would have landed? Oh, no. Mana off the top. We're going to keep that in hand for our demand answers when we find it. We're going to copy Scamp. Sheoldred's Edict. Sacrifices a non-token creature of their choice. Oh, I see. So we could sacrifice Scamp, which is the best sacrifice, but that's the one we're copying. So I guess the best would actually be Firebrand, because we'd rather still have the copy on the Scamp since we tapped the Jolly Balloon Man down. Yeah, that makes the most sense. We're not getting too much damage through overall here. We're gonna decline on both of these. If we had counters on the board, we'd totally sacrifice this token Scamp for the Proliferate, but we do not. I think the only thing in here that gives us +1/+1 counters, or counters in general, is actually our 1-drop Lizard, right? The bottom ability on that. I can't think of anything else that gives us counters. Demolition Field, what do you guys want to bet? They're going to grab a swamp on that Demolition Field, right? So we're going to grab a... We have everything we need on the board. I guess just more red sources is totally fine here. It's a swamp. I'm scared. I'm scared, man. Because Deadly Cover-Up would probably be game. It's a Deadly Cover-Up. Crap, guys. Crap, we're getting picked apart, man. Okay. How far are we? 35 minutes. Wow. All right, we might push it a little overtime for a couple more games because I kind of believe that we can end on some high notes, man. We should be able to do the thing and do it well enough. There's some things to be said here where, what did they exile? They got rid of our Warleader's Call? Bro, that's just mean. That's a good choice. A really good choice from the opponent. We'll go a couple more turns here, guys, and see if we can reestablish anything, because there's a small chance. We do have card draw packed in and stuff, so. They actually pass it back. It's going to be another Forge. I guess we'll get one of them down. Try the swing on the Scamp. That's a lot of excess mana. Okay, we still get one through, down to 10. Like I said, a couple more turns. I want to actually get a couple more games in, too, though. And realistically, we don't know what the opponent's win condition is. It could literally take another 20 turns. They drop a Cease. They gained 2 Drew. Fanatical Firebrand isn't terrible, I suppose. Them down to 11, maybe. Assassin's Trophy. Hey, you know what? They're helping us thin the deck list. This time we'll grab a Plains. Keeping the Battlefield Forge around. Okay, we still have all 3 Splitskin Dolls and all 3 Demand Answers. I'll tell you what, if they counter the Demand Answers, we'll concede, we'll get into the next game. All right, we're in this, guys. No, yeah, you know what? Hired Claw's ability will be open. We have reinforcements for the end of their turn, which isn't bad. So first of all, the ability is only open if they lost life this turn, so that's a shame, I guess, right? But it'll be easy enough to activate with all this extra mana. All right, reestablishing some resemblance of a board state. Firebrand. I could only imagine if that Warleader's Call landed earlier. Maybe I should have played around the counterspell a little bit more. Assassin's Trophy on the Hired Claw. I'd say that's a pretty good target. They're also helping us thin the deck even further here. I guess isn't terrible, but wow. The opponent rocking Sultai Control. Down to 9. Oh, man. Come on. Just pass it back, opponent. It's not another Deadly Cover-Up. Oh, okay. They actually go for the Pulse. Wow, Burst Lightning. Guys, I mean, there's no way we're actually gonna push this damage through, right? They're down to 7. Guys, they have 3 mana open. We don't want to pass it back to their turn so they would have double blue. We want to do this now while they only have 1 blue. Because it's an extra 4. Oh, it's a negate anyways. Okay, well, we were playing around a 3 steps ahead, but that's brutal, opponent. More mana. The opponent's also getting a little unlucky, though, too, right? Because they don't have any... They didn't draw any extra cards. Terra Sunder. It's just a whole bunch of removal and counter spells. The opponent is down to 6. The second they actually restock their hand is the second we should get out of here, right? Okay, they do find an impulse off the top. I don't know if we can count that as restocking their hand, though, right? I don't think so. I can't believe it, man. Wow, Axonil, hi. Hello. It doesn't actually affect the combat, so we're going to wait for main phase 2. I wonder what they grabbed off the impulse. Yeah, I can only imagine the opponent's waiting to draw multiple cards on the same turn. Man, we really do got some power packed in. Deadly cover-up number 2. Oh, no. Guys, always feel free. Skip ahead in the video. We got those chapters down at the bottom of the video, right? If you mouse over it. And then in the description as well, timestamps. You guys could always go to the next game. Woo! Woo, buddy. What is that? What is that top deck, dude? Holy cow. Get all the mana out there to play. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's go, guys. Oh my goodness, man. It wasn't even that long of a game. It was only 11 minutes. It felt really long, though, because the opponent's deck list was just removal and counter spells and board wipes. And where was their win condition? And also, where was their draw spells? Outside of the impulse, of course. Holy cow, man. Talk about just resilience. Just keep pushing through. It's actually a great game to talk about the fact that if we had a lot of removal in here, not a lot, right? It's some removal. We don't have anything outside of the burst in the Firebrands, but if we did have a lot, it would have just been sitting in our hand this whole game. And again, not a lot. Like if we had a couple get lost pack in, like usually the couple get lost is gonna help us out a ton. But in that one, they would have just been chilling. I guess those would have been the discard, the demand answers. But we also had way too much mana that game. Okay, guys, wow. I gave in to despair. I was positive it was going to be the opponents. I can't tell if we got lucky. I can't tell if we got unlucky. Somewhere in the middle. I don't even know anymore. Imodane's Recruiter was such a good top deck. Yeah. Yeah, once we had all that mana. Oh, man, that was awesome. All right. Opponent goes first. Great hand. Really good hand. I'm probably just going to skip the Carnival and just go right into the Forge for 2 turns in a row, so that way we get a clean draw on the Splitskin Doll. All right. Oh. Iron Claw's a little bit better here than the Firebrand. I'd love to get some copies on the Hired Claw with the Jolly Balloon Man, because I love that it doubles its ability then, you know? It doesn't double its ability, but you guys know what I mean. Then both the Hired Claws deal the extra ping. I like that concept. Splitskin Doll is a great tempo pick, I'd say. It gets rid of our turn 2. Yeah, that's what they opt for. I think that was really good. We see another one. That's good news, right? That's good. I'll go for that draw. Nice clean way to replace itself. Demand answers is really good. I guess we should have swung first. Based on what they had, they were tapped out. It was just a bat. Liliana.
Something suspicious.
Splitskin Doll's the sacrifice, right? But Demand Answers is in hand.
Sacrifices must be made.
If we sacrifice the claw, keep Splitskin Doll around, we have a chance of copying Splitskin Doll with the Balloon Man and having some sustainability that way. But no extra pokes then. I think we're going to opt for card draw though, guys. And I hope that's okay. I hope that's fine. Woo, Mr. Axonil. All right, so we have the turn of keeping Splitskin Doll open. We could swing at Liliana. That's first of all, right? Want to do that. We can also go Firebrand, pop the bat. I guess that works too.
Knew this was a waste of time.
I'm just going to keep the Demand Answers open because I want to find the 4th on time too. We might actually discard instead of, and we might want to keep the Splitskin Doll around. What we're doing here, though, is we're playing around some spot removal as well. Ruthless Negotiation. Right. I want to keep everything, so I guess we start with the card draw on the Demand Answers then. And I'll pop the Splitskin Doll because we plan on getting the other one back from the Deep Cavern Bat, and I hope that's fine. I don't know, man. I'm overthinking this and confusing myself a little bit. Okay, there's the 4th. It's another Forge, though. That's scary. Double Warleader's Call is probably unnecessary, although it could be really, really good. Maybe it's actually... Maybe we do keep that. Maybe that's our best way through. Double Warleader's Call with the Axonil. Because enchantments are pretty hard for mono black to deal with. No creatures on the board right now for the 4th. I guess we, yeah. Jolly Balloon Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, crap. Liliana number 2 is really bad. Oh, crap. The 4th mana might be the pick, then. If I still want to go double Warleader's Call. No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't, because even if we see a 5th mana off the top... Crap. Crap, guys. Okay, they go back up to 20 here with the swing. I doubt they keep Deep Cavern Bat as a blocker when they know we have Firebrand. It's another Axonil, so there's our next discard then. For sure. So... hopefully they don't have us discard both of them, though. Down to 14... down to 13. Any carnivals off the top are just really good dual land now. If you poke the opponent's face, we could swing 2 at Liliana, or we could pop the Deep Cavern Bat to get the Splitskin Doll back. Which, none of that seems terrific. I suppose it's actually the swing at Liliana, though, because we're forcing the +1 for survival instead of them being able to go -2, which they couldn't do anyways, because Firebrand would have popped the bat. They find a Go for the Throat, which couldn't have hit the Splitskin Doll, but also now we don't have an answer for the bat. Crap, guys. This is rough, man. And then they have the plus on the other Liliana, and we're out of cards in hand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Demand Answers. We have nothing to sacrifice and nothing to discard. Uh-oh. All right, I think this is discards. Swing for 2 up to 22. They get rid of our Demand Answers, which would have been great had I actually popped this Deep Cavern Bat. But then also, guys, we wouldn't have got 2 through on the Liliana, which Liliana would have been at 6 this turn. Jolly Balloon Man, so we can play the Balloon Man. We can swing at Liliana, but then they go -2 on Liliana. We're officially in the Liliana lockdown state, guys. However, now if they go -2, at the very least, the Liliana of the Veil is gone. And they could play another one, but that would be their 3rd already, so. Goodbye, Mr. Jolly Balloon Man. It's mana! We're going to try to keep it in hand in case we see a Demand Answers, but I don't think it'll stick around. Yeah, Ruthless Negotiation. We tried. If we played it as our 5th mana, it's also not going to do too much right now. We're going to completely play it out because, unfortunately, this is the last one of the evening, guys. Oh. Reinforcements isn't bad. I'll keep it open for their turn. Alright, well, we better get the reinforcements down before we accidentally discard it here by waiting too long. Warleader's Call pokes the opponent's face a couple times. We actually have a couple creatures on the board now, so it's not just going to be completely clean and easy spot removal. Oh, we're actually just dead this turn. Good game, opponent. My goodness, man. Discard still looking pretty scary. 40% win rate. That is probably about right, honestly, for how it felt today. That's probably about right. As far as Boros goes, this is going to be a janky one. But I do feel like we got unnecessarily picked apart in some of those games where I think there could have been some cleaner draws, which is probably just comes down to how I actually put the deck list together too. The curve felt fine though, and the mana base felt relatively decent too, didn't it? I think 22 is about right where we want it. Going this path of Boros is really neat to me. Just poke the opponent's face as much as possible, ignore what they're doing. I like that. I actually really enjoyed the concepts that the deck list brought to the table. We just need a little bit of fine tuning here and there. Was Demand Answers really the correct card draw that we wanted for the deck list? And Splitskin Doll too, right? Maybe it's just like Ren's Resolve. Like in that last game, especially against Discard, Ren's Resolve would have been much better. But when we're rocking some top end and relying on top end, I figured Ren's Resolve, you're going to play it early sometimes. You're going to see an Axonil and then you only have your third mana and you're going to cry about it, right? It's going to be very sad to watch the Axonil just go bye-bye when you can't play it. Whereas Demand Answers, you're actually drawing it into your hand. You actually have an extra turn to set up or get the fourth mana when it comes time, right? So just like actual pure card draw was the idea, but did it work? And when you're going these colors too, maybe just, you know, we got a bit of a splash of white in here. Reinforcement, Splitskin Doll, Warleader's Call, and Jolly Balloon Man. So we're heavily leaning red. Maybe if we lean it a little bit more white, go for more reliable white card draw, right? Because technically what we could do, you know, we have 6 pieces here in the 2-drop spot. We talked about the kitty cat. Cat draw, I don't know what it's called. Helpful Hunter, right? We could drop the Demand Answers, go up 4 Helpful Hunters, and drop a Splitskin Doll. That's 6 pieces of card draw. At that point, though, I would maybe just go 4 Helpful Hunters, drop the Splitskin Doll and the Demand Answers, and then go up some Get Lost, maybe. A couple Get Lost. Should we do that now? I don't know. That's a pretty significant change to the deck list, isn't it? I'm not convinced yet, but talking about it makes it very tempting. Right, so we're looking at the Splitskin Doll and Demand Answers nonsense. There's going to be moments, too, where it actually really does come in handy to be able to sacrifice the artifact to get the extra card draw on the Demand Answers as well. And don't forget, the kitty cat just replaces itself when it comes into play. It's not like extra card draw, but it's a similar concept to the Demand Answers, which replaces itself in hand or replaces the artifact that you already had played, like the Splitskin Doll. Huh. I don't know, man. I'm kind of split on this one. There definitely needs to be a change, but I'm not really sure what to change. Let me know in the comments for sure. The Impact Tremors, where the heck were you today, bro? The 4 of Warleader's Call. I actually could see 3 Warleader's Call instead and 4 Impact Tremors because Impact Tremors is cheaper, and that's pretty important when the deck lists are going that fast all the time. And when they're not going fast, you're struggling to actually establish anything on the board where the opponents just have great counter spells on time. In that game with the where they dropped the 3 steps ahead, if it would have been an Impact Tremors instead of a Warleader's Call, the Tremors probably would have landed, and maybe that would have been a very different game. That's very important to consider. Outside of that, I don't know. I love the concept, but something needs changed. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm not 100% convinced that the doll and the Demand Answers is the change. I don't think I'm going to change it. I'm going to keep it for now. So some spot removal could go a long way, but at the same time, the more you take away from what the deck list is trying to do, the less you're going to see it do that thing too. So that's tough. There's some tough decisions to be had here. You know what we'll do? What we'll do is we'll actually clone this. And since it's such a big change, we'll put both down in the description, huh? Helpful, right? Was what it was. Helpful Hunter. Get Lost. That's what we'll do for this one. We'll have both versions of the deck list down in the description, and I'll just I'll title the second one. Let's double check here. We got an 80% split, almost a 40% white. So let's do, I mean, that's actually pretty close, isn't it? We actually, since we dropped 3 white cards already, but we also dropped 3 red cards too, but it's still pretty close to even split. So maybe we don't have to change the mana base. We could drop a Carnival, go up a Plains maybe. But there's still going to be a lot of moments where you want multiple red sources on the same turn to be able to dump a whole bunch of 1-drops on the board. Yeah, so I'm actually going to keep the mana base. I actually still like the split, and I think the split will still work fine, especially since this is a lot of dual lands. 11 dual lands, plus the 3 plains. So 14 white sources packed in. All right. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Boros Impact 2.0 will be down in the comments as well. But just remember, it wasn't tested at all. But I feel like it'll probably operate a little bit better. Maybe. I'm not really sure. Yeah. Or down in the description, by the way. I don't know if I said down in the comments or not. I've been butchering words and sentences all evening. All right, guys, here's the deck list again. This is the one that we played, and then what we ended up changing was a pretty big deal. We dropped 6 cards and went up 6 different cards. So yeah, that's why I'm going to put them both down in the description. All right, let me know if you like the changes. I don't think I have anything else to say about the list. I guess I'm a little bit confused. I think I was expecting more overall, but it didn't. It just kind of... you know, it just kind of fell flat. Outside of that, too, we're going to be revisiting this concept again in the future. It's just a really fun concept to me, so. All right, guys. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. We're almost an hour in, guys. My goodness. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I forgot to bring this up in the middle, guys. Check out that description where we got that Discord link as well as that Patreon link, too. If you're interested in supporting the channel that way. And if you liked the video, make sure you drop it a like. If you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing as well. It really does help out the channel. Okay, I will see you in the next video.